To get the show started, though, could you introduce yourself? Like, give me an intro into who Tabani is.
Okay, Tabani Mseleni is my name, name and surname. I'm born on the 8th of December. Well, people read magazines and they know my age by now, so I might as well. Born on the 8th of December, 1987. I remember it was a very sunny day. Well, my mother told me that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a singer, an actor, motivational speaker, I'm a songwriter, and I'm a person that gives people hope.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born, bred, buttered in a small town called Fort Beaufort, Bofolo, in Xhosa. And then in English it's Fort Beaufort, not Beaufort West, not in the Western Cape, in the Eastern Cape. I have one brother though, and my father passed away 4 years ago. My mother's a single parent. I'm who I am because of her.
Wait, what's your town's name again, where you grew up?
Fort Beaufort. English, it's Fort, F-O-R-T,
Okay.
Beaufort.
Okay.
And then in Xhosa, it's Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo, yes.
Like buffalo.
Buffalo.
There
Not Buffalo, it's Buffalo. B-O, not B-U. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah. That's how I grew up. Yeah, so I tell you about it.
Okay.
How was it? How was it growing up there? I could sense your question.
You can sense it.
Because that's what they always ask. So how was it growing up there? You know.
Okay.
Well, I won't lie. It wasn't easy.
Okay.
Because I hate saying that. Shit. Okay, sorry, Donna. Can you cut? Sorry. I said shit. Am I allowed to say shit? Can you continue?
No, you
Fine.
can't say
Camera's still rolling. You can cut it. But forgot. Growing up there wasn't that easy. You know what I mean? It was because I feel like everybody's like singing the same tune, but my upbringing wasn't easy. No, mine was really not, because my mother was 16 when she had me.
Okay.
And my father was very young as well. And you understand that we're brought up by my mother's mother. That's my grandmother. You know what I mean? So now she was working at some wholesale. You know what I mean? Where's cash and carry? I was in primary. My mother was doing. I couldn't understand at that time, but now I understand. Now I understand because now my grandmother was paying for both myself and my mother.
Wow.
My mother was in tertiary. I was in primary.
Okay.
I couldn't get that. It was a bit confusing back then. You know what I mean? But times have changed. You know what I mean? So now we're like, yeah, we think we know better. So I think I only understood when I was like in high school, say grade 11. You know what I mean? So my grandmother's been there for me, you know, and my surname just changed, like, because you know that my parents actually, because when most of my friends tell me that, I know my mother, like, they got married like in 1973, and I'm thinking that's the year my mother was born. How can you say your parents like got married that year?
Yeah.
You know, because my mother's very young. She was born in 1973 on the 9th of November, you know, and she had me on the 8th of December 1987. So I couldn't understand. So when we talk about this, she's like, "Hey, you'll never understand the times back then, you know." So it was tricky growing up then, you know, because we all depended on my grandmother, because we were three of us, 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
Osnazo, Zikona, Otobani. She paid for everything. She's always been there, you know what I mean? She paid for my mother. She did a lot of things, you know. So, yeah, I mean, it's dusty streets but I've always been that guy that had a dream.
Okay.
You know, I've always had the dream. And my grandmother is one person that actually believed in me and my talent, you know, because I
Do you want to pause it because of that tone?
Yeah, because you're going to pick it up. Opa! Sound speed! I never imagined myself as a doctor, an entrepreneur. Okay, not an entrepreneur, but doctor, excuse me, a teacher. Never. I've always imagined myself sitting here with you, you know, making good television, you know, giving people what they've never seen.
There you
know
go.
What I mean? It's always been in me, you know what I mean? But my parents and my family never understood. But as a person, you know what you want. Nobody can tell you what you want. You one person that knows what you want. You know what I mean? And I've always known. And every time I write my biography, I always like, it all started on a rainy, because my mother told me it was rainy, on a rainy Saturday or whatever afternoon, 8th of December 1987, when a nigger by the name of Tobani Mseleni was conceived. That's when I knew, but always like being the only child.
Okay.
And then my brother was conceived in my matric year. That is now 17 years later.
Okay.
Liam was born. I couldn't understand, but you can't question your parents. You know,
No,
I'm
you
like,
can't.
guys, come on. Because my father, like, really, because every time I was with Liam, people were like, probably his son, but they're not telling us the truth. But it's not. They saw my mom. My mom was pregnant in front of everyone, but people found it so hard to believe
Yeah.
that that's actually my brother. And I was like, yeah, I got that mama. I mean, so many years. Hi, boo. Because only my father was born 1969, the 1st of June. My brother, 2005, the 9th of June. So they got along very well.
Okay.
They loved each other. And then I was the Sagittarius, December nigga, that wanted the arts, you know, and my parents couldn't understand that. And my mother understood. My mother understood it clearly. Like, she was like, Chobani Mdanam, I know what you're, but it's just that your father. And I was so annoyed by the fact that my father is the head of the house. And I'm like, I'm the head of myself. It wasn't easy growing up because at some point my mother worked at, because she graduated in a teaching, like she graduated to be a teacher.
Okay.
Ended up working at the Riverside. That's Tico, where they make oranges. So the oranges that you guys buy from the shops,
Okay.
my mother was behind the infrastructure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So she worked and she earned about 700 a week. Was it 700 fortnight? Because I couldn't pay attention. I was young, you know what I mean? But Mama, at some point, she was like, no, man, this man is not enough. You understand that? Now, she's done studying to be a teacher. There's no work. We're talking about the Eastern Cape here now.
Okay.
So she had to find something. Because Otobani is at school, you know. And my mother made sure, and my grandmother even, they made sure that I got the best education, you know. I'll never blame God. I'll never blame my father for not being there. I'll never blame anyone, you know. I think everything happened for a reason. I know they say everything happens for a reason, but I think everything that happened to me, it happened for a reason. This is a lesson. Well, now I understand things better. So I know, but it was a lesson God wanted to make me strong. And I know that God has got a lot of plans for me. You know, God has got big things planned for me. You know what I mean? So I don't blame God. At first I would be like, but God, you always say you're God. But where were you when Luyolo drowned?
Yeah.
Couldn't you save him? Because you know that my life would never be the same without Uluyolo. But I believe that God does everything for a reason. And I wish people would understand that God doesn't smoke. God doesn't get high. God doesn't do ridiculous things. God is God. And we should not question God. People should not say, but I have to pray. Talk to God.
Yeah.
You know your God. You know, let God understand you. Understand God. And. I would go on and on because God's been so amazing.
Yes.
You know, he's been my pillar of strength. And he always comforts me. You know what I mean? And he's always been there. And there's my mother. Yo!
Got love for your mom.
That woman, guys.
She's like,
It's not normal. Her love is not normal. My mother is just, she always wanted what's best for me.
Okay.
She still wants it. Do you understand that I'm turning 29 this year? But to my mother, I'm still 6 years old, you know. She'd call and ask if I have airtime. She's because she understands life of an artist. You know
Yes.
what I mean? She gets it, and she's like, it's something that you've always wanted. It's not like you just want to be famous. And she's like, no, boy, it's something that from birth we saw this, and I was like, Ole Tijo, I will make you proud. And then I got the matati again.
how'd that feel?
My goodness, it was like a joke. It was like a joke because Do you understand that I've been in Johann? This is my 6th year in Joburg. Last year was my 5th year. And I've been struggling for 4 years. Knowing my God. I'm not like, nah, he's not ready. Nah, he's not ready. I should prepare mentally, emotionally, physically. And he did, you know. And then when I got the Matatiela gig, I was like on some, I already had visions. I could see myself, you know what I mean? And I would be like, nah, God, you know what? I'm ready now, you know. And when I called my mother, she cried, you know. And those are the only tears that I've ever expected to see, or should I say, those are the only tears that I've always wanted to see from my mother. Tears of joy. My mother never had enough. Do you understand when she tells me this story? I'm like, are you serious? Because she's like, I've never had a boyfriend in my entire life. Your father's always been my man. And you think of it and you look at the pictures and you're like, they've always been, you know, those. So my mother always says that I'm her husband. I guess that's why I'm still single.
Because you're your
Dating
mother's
my
husband.
mother.
I love it. I love.
So it's like that. Yeah. So it's been nice, man. It's been a nice journey. And I thank God for actually for the challenges along the way, you know. And I don't think I'd be sitting here today if it wasn't for my nigga, you know, because God really understands me. And people were like, Toban, you need to grow up. And I'm like, but I didn't have to prove anything to you. And then this person, the boss, his mistake was to ask me, who's Tobani? You don't you ever, and don't you dare ask me who I am.
Why is that?
Because I will cover everything like I did.
You go.
Because he like, because now Uvusi was telling me, what does a second assistant director do? I'm like, he's like, okay, good. And I'm listening to him. Blah, 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 blah. So he's like, tell me about it. I'm like, I'm Tobani, I do this, and da, 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 da. And I think the job, he didn't ask me anything. One question, was like, please go call Vusi. Vusi, please introduce Tobani to the cast and the crew. He's starting next week Monday. I'm like, you better. My mom is like, Kodwa mntanam, I've never imagined you as this person that prays. I'm like, hey, are you being serious? Because I'm never serious, and because I always told my mother that, you know what I want from God? Not what I want from him, but what I like him to bless me with is 1 month on TV. Just one. Because I've been getting these small roles here and there, your intersections, you know, here. No. Like, God, just one. A month, a full month on national television. I'll show you flames. As I said to you guys before,
Yes.
he does not know the smell of weed. Because he doesn't get high. He gave me 6 months on TV. That's why I'm sitting here today.
Love it.
No weed.
He doesn't smoke.
But you can't be telling God what to do. I'm like, no, listen. We understand each other. Like, God, listen, I'm going to go. He knows that I'm here even. And he's watching. But he knew about it. But I just felt I need to tell him. You know what I mean? So I think if we can believe in God, like our youth, like things are just going wrong. Today's youth is just, you know what I mean? If we can just believe in our God, you know what I mean? And I think everything would be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Respect your mother. Respect your father. Respect your parents. I think, we'd all be sitting on this couch. There are so many people that I look up to.
Okay.
Can I just name a few, and then I will tell you who inspired and inspires me. Wanang,
Okay.
Mini Dlamini, Charmaine, Tini Mtindi, Kholenikiwe, the director, Uzugono Data. There's so many people that I can mention. Tabi, Amanda Kowe. Because Amanda, the people that we grew up watching on TV. And at that time, I was very young. You know, Abakwazi Deng, I remember back then. I was like, that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's where I saw myself. And then now, when I got the call sheet on my tatele about how she's going to be my mother, I was like, stop it. Mm. There was no way.
Surreal for you.
I'm
huh?
like, ah. And then Charmaine, do you know that when I told a friend of mine, Sia Mazwai, that Sia, I'll be working with Charmaine. What do Sia? How do you feel, boy? Because I've always, like, my friends, my close friends, I always tell them that my favorite are these people that I would love to work with. And then when they mentioned her name, we're like, I believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
Because God doesn't smoke, you know what I mean? So it was an amazing experience working with these people. You know what I mean? Be like, it's but now you always get starstruck. You're like, but I'm like I always cool. Like the Zamozans are cool. Yeah, but I keep that chill. I'm like, hey, how's it? No, I'm good. I can't show you that.
But on the inside.
I'm like, you know?
Yeah.
And there was was it last week? I tweeted Bonang. She was on Metro. I like tweeted. I was like, and I was not even lying to her. I had to listen. I had to hear her voice in order for me to be ready for that audition. I was like, I'm about to go into an audition room, and I just had to hear your voice. Thank you. Keep inspiring me. God is watching. Do you know what she did? She replied and she was like, good luck. And I got the job.
Love it.
I love Bonang. Like, Bonang is just my... Okay, next question.